It is the beginning of October 2020, and so it's time for another monthly update video in which we talk about what went on in September and what we've got coming up in October. I always like to begin by highlighting three big things. So, big things for this month, no big surprise for many of those who know me as a member of the Modern Stoicism team and editor of Stoicism Today, that all the big things are Stoicism related. So big thing number one, there's STOICON, there's various STOICON-X's. I will be speaking at least one STOICON-X, perhaps more, and I'm the on-deck speaker for STOICON, just in case anybody drops out or there's technical difficulties. I'm supposed to jump in and give a talk. So more information about that in just a bit. Big thing number two, Stoic Week, which will be running shortly after the big STOICON. If you haven't participated in Stoic Week, it's a really excellent opportunity to try to live like a Stoic for a week and see whether it makes any difference in your life. Most people find out that it does. It's also a great opportunity to sort of retool. I do it every year. Big thing number three, we're organizing a STOICON Midwest as a virtual event, cited officially here in Milwaukee, just like STOICON-X Milwaukee last year, but it'll be a virtual event, so it's open to people worldwide, but we will be featuring a lot of things that do have to do in one way or another with the Midwest. So more about that in a bit as well. The month of September was, as so many, an extraordinarily busy month in addition to my normal client load with doing consulting and philosophical counseling and tutorials. I also started teaching or continued teaching 6 different online classes for 3 different institutions. So a lot of my time has been devoted to that, sort of onboarding students, developing content for those classes. I did also do something that was kind of cool that was a little bit different than my usual stuff. I do work in a lot of applied ethics, but I hadn't done anything with paralegal ethics, and I was asked by the Wisconsin Paralegal Association for their annual conference to provide the ethics training. So I did that and talked a bit about some of the issues involved and the codes, but also about Stoic practices and principles and how those could be useful. I also did my usual Ask Me Anything session. We had our classic metal class focused on British metal from the mid to late 70s, and for our Worlds of Speculative Fiction series, this time around we did Ursula K. Le Guin's Earthsea trilogy. Videos of all these, except for the paralegal thing, can be found in the video description here. So if you want to check any of these out, go ahead and do so. And we had our usual, half-hour Hegel sessions and the Stoic Fellowship, Milwaukee Sophia. These are all online things that anybody can join in if they want to. And of course, Dan and I continued our radio show, Wisdom for Life, which airs on Saturdays, 4 p.m. Central. We weren't able to do a lot of new recordings, so they were playing some rerun episodes, but we did at least get one in, so that's good. And a lot of that had to do with workload and illness and stuff like that. So videos. This month has been an extraordinarily productive month for me. You might not realize that because a lot of it's behind the scenes for my online classes. This semester, I am teaching Intro to Philosophy, Ethics, Existentialist Philosophy and Literature, World Religions, Business Ethics, and Biomedical Ethics. For some of these, I have a lot of videos already handy, but I've been producing new video content for some of these classes as well, particularly the Biomedical Ethics and the World Religions. Those I'm not releasing in my main channel just quite yet. We'll see about down the line how happy I am with the lecture videos that I created with the classes. But, I have also done quite a few videos that I've been releasing, particularly on existentialist thinkers, Kierkegaard's The Present Age, Dostoevsky, The Brothers Karamazov, at least that portion in Book 5, and Lev Shestov's All Things Are Possible. So those have been from my existentialism class. I did some Sadler stories. I didn't, unfortunately, get to the book reviews or half-hour Hegel videos that I wanted to, but I did shoot about over 100 course videos. So that's part of the reason why. Podcast work. I continued releasing the Peter Singer episodes on his biological basis of ethics. Then I switched to Jeremy Bentham, his introduction to the principles of morals and legislation. Then I switched to Aristotle's Nico McCain Ethics Book 1, and now I've been releasing stuff on air. Common theme to these things? They're all for my ethics class to provide resources for my students. But you can download them. Just go to the Sadler's, go to my podcast on SoundCloud. You can also find it on a variety of other things, including Apple Music and Google Play. And you can download these podcast episodes, which are from my lecture videos, but I've taken the sound and boosted it and taken out all the ums and ahs and stuff like that. So a lot of podcast stuff. I'm now at 245 episodes, which is pretty cool. So I've passed quite a bit. Oh, one other thing that did happen this month that was really cool in terms of video stuff, I passed the 90,000 subscribers mark in YouTube. So, I'm not quite there to 100,000. It's been over 9 years to get to 90,000. But hopefully we'll beat it at 100,000 before too long. It's kind of a bragging rights thing, I guess. It doesn't really change anything in any significant ways, but it's kind of a cool thing. So that's what went on in September. The month of October is going to be super, super packed and super stoic. So you'll see what I'm talking about in just a bit. Let me run through the catalog and calendar of events that we have coming up. So on the 3rd, this coming Saturday, I'm at 12 p.m. I'm having my monthly AMA. That's Ask Me Anything session. You can, start asking questions now if you want to. I'm going to try to answer one per person, so don't put a whole bunch of questions for yourself because I do want to try to be fair to the viewers and reach as many as possible. That same afternoon on the 3rd at 2 p.m., I'll be having my philosophy chat for Patreon supporters. And that's a special perk for them. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon supporter, there's a link that you can click in the video description and do that. On the 6th at 6 p.m., that's a Tuesday. By the way, all these are in Central Time. We have our Milwaukee Sophia, that's the Society of Philosophers in America monthly session, open to anybody. You don't have to be from Milwaukee or even the Midwest to join in. We had some people from all over joining in the past. On the 7th at 5 p.m., I'll have my Hegel Q&A and discussion session. That's open to the public as well. Anybody can join in. And then on the 10th, we're going to kick off the day at 12 p.m. with the classic metal class, and I'm going to be focusing on the ethics of tours past your farewell tour, right? So the ethics of extra tours. Dee Snider has been a real vocal advocate for not doing that sort of stuff, and he's given some interesting philosophical reasons why, and so we're going to consider that sort of stuff and talk about what's going on with that. Then we kick off the Stoic stuff. I will be speaking at STOICON-X New England as one of the keynote speakers at 4 p.m. on the 10th. That's 4 p.m. Our time. I think it's 5 is in the schedule because they're obviously on Eastern time. That is a paid event, so you do have to get a ticket in order to do it. So if you want to watch it, you can do that. Otherwise, the presentation that I'm doing, I'm going to be uploading into my channel later on as well. So then the 17th, another Saturday, big STOICON, worldwide STOICON. There are already, I think, 800 people signed up for it this year. It's going virtual, of course, because, COVID. And as I mentioned, I'm the on-deck speaker. So that means that if anybody is having technical difficulties or can't do their thing, I'm the one who comes in and gives a talk that I'll probably have pre-recorded and then answer questions and all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of a big honor. I've given workshops at 3 of the previous STOICONs, and so it's kind of a fun thing. The only thing that kind of sucks about the virtual format is obviously we can't do all the schmoozing and meeting people and shaking hands like we normally do, but it's better than not having a STOICON at all. Then on the 18th, the following day, 12 p.m., I'll be doing my political theory and application sort of hangout and discussion. And this time I'm going to actually focus in on Stoicism and what Stoicism could provide us as a resource. It doesn't mean withdrawing from the world, as many people's wrong-headed interpretations of Stoicism would have you think. Instead, it actually means engagement with your society and trying to make things better. So we'll talk about the Stoic virtue of justice and what it involves and requires. On the 24th, from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m., STOICON-X Midwest. I will be the MC for the event. There's a lot of cool speakers. We're going to have some really great panels. I will probably, other than giving the address at the very beginning of it, I'm not going to be giving a talk, but I'm instead going to be sort of facilitating everything. And we have other speakers to be giving the excellent talks that will be available for you for that. And that is a free event. Anybody can do it. We'll be posting information for it shortly. On the 29th, 6 p.m., the Milwaukee Stoic Fellowship, again, virtual, so we actually have people from all over the place who join us as far as Florida and Las Vegas. And then finally on the 31st of October at 12 o'clock and at 1:30, we're going to be having our next Worlds of Speculative Fiction series presentation and discussion. So that begins with a YouTube video premiere of me talking about Ursula K. Le Guin and the rest of the Earthsea books. There's 4, 5, and 6 past the trilogy. And then we have, you can do live chat and people talk about the books in there. And then after that, we have a live discussion using Zoom for people who want to have a more intensive and engaging discussion about the books. So packed month, a lot of stuff going on. As far as other work, obviously I'm still teaching a lot of things going on here. And on the podcast, I'm going to be continuing to release more air videos. And then we're moving into Augustine. We'll be looking at book 1 of On Free Choice of the Will. Maybe some City of God material if I get ambitious enough. Then we'll do some Aristotle. I need to release stuff on Nicomachean Ethics book 2. And then there'll be some stuff, if I get to it, on Hegel and self-consciousness and the master-slave dialectic. Videos. I'm going to be shooting more core concept videos on Lev Shestov. Actually releasing them. I still have one I'd like to get to if I can. And then I've got to jump right into Miguel de Unamuno's Tragic Sense of Life because we're teaching that next week, right? So my students need that stuff right away. And then we're doing I've got a few Rilke videos I didn't get to that I wanted to last time around. I'm shooting some new stuff on Kafka. And if I get super ambitious, I'm going to do some stuff on Camus as well. I'm going to do those book review videos that I've been promising for a while. Got to start doing more half-hour Hegel so we can make progress and get through the end of the spirit section. Obviously, there'll be event videos that you can watch from all these cool events that we've got going on, whether they're the AMA or the Stoic related things. And then I'll do a few more Sadler stories for those who are interested in those. I'm not sure quite what I'll talk about yet, but I've got tons and tons of stories. I could probably do those for years, so I'm going to keep those up. So that's what we've got coming. I hope you can join us for some of these online events. Like I said, video descriptions, or the links, all that stuff. Click the video description where it says show more, and you'll see all of these things, including the calendar of events. So that's it for this month. Hope you have a great month, and I'll see some of you here in the interwebs.